All right. And now we're on to Elias's turn. What are you going to do in response to this massive creature?
I honestly don't know. I guess I'm going to... Is this one off balance too?
Nope, it's about as sturdy as a fucking mountain.
I am going to move around it to this side and try to attack the back of like where its knee would be.
Okay. So what? Just describe this attack. What are you doing to it?
I'm basically going to go all Sword Art Online for everybody who's seen that and just kind of like dash around to the side and take a swipe out at its knee to try and either take a chunk out or break it enough that it maybe stumbles a bit.
Okay, perfect.
Even if it doesn't like cut its leg off.
Yes, absolutely. Roll me a d20 at a -4.
What?
We're not rolling to see if it hits because it's very...
God.
Okay, it's not going to do anything. You're going to clang harmlessly off of its leg. Your sword is fine, but it's just going to kind of go like chung, and nothing's going to happen as a result. Laszlo, what are you going to do?
I'm going to make one final passionate plea to David. Screw Siphius. David, I will give you my entire inheritance. That is well over 1 million gold. If you will open these doors for these fine people and drop this elevator as fast as you can make it and destroy this thing. Please.
Just a heads up, it's not on the elevator anymore. Like, just south of you guys is kind of where the elevator is. I don't really have a map of this area. It's just kind of like, this is we fight here to show things, but there's no map area, essentially, that I made. But yes, you make your plea into the rock, and you don't hear anything in response at all. But I'll let you have that as a free action. Is there anything else you want to do?
God damn it. I will go along the back and probably fruitlessly use my rope to hold down its leg as best I can.
You're gonna hold down a small car-sized leg on your own with some rope.
Yes, but remember, my rope is an enchanted rope from
Oh,
Keefe.
right. How could I forget? Right. Okay, cool. So you run with the enchanted rope, kind of like maypole style. And it seems like you probably, it's so large that you can't really wrap around it easily. So you would need someone else to grab the other end of the rope and pull and go around the leg with you, basically, in order to do that. So is that what you still want to go forward with, or you
Yes. Whoever will grab the other side of the rope.
If he can throw it to me, I'm already on that side. Also,
that works.
Completely out of context. Are we trying to Hoth this rock monster?
I mean, that could be one way. You guys are trying to figure out how to bring down a giant building-sized rock monster. So yeah, you can do that. I'm gonna have you guys each roll an unmodified d20 to see if you can connect the throw. All right, so you throw the rope and start running under its leg to kind of wrap around one of the legs, and you throw it to Elias, and Elias is too busy going like, "Well, my sword didn't do anything," and the rope just kind of hits him in the shoulder, and he's like, "The fuck?" and looks up at you.
What was that?
So unfortunately, he didn't catch the rope, and you just kind of fruitlessly run half of it under the leg. So you're on this side of it now. You've kind of tried to maypole it. Didn't go so well. Now it's Keefe's turn. Keefe, what are you gonna do?
Okay, so question. Did we learn if stone singing is a form of magic, or is it something
It is, but you have
inherited?
no idea how to cast. You have no idea what specific things are like part of stone singing. It's a very specific. It's like a secretive order of magic, and to use it properly, you would need to know the right way to do it from somebody. So you could try to channel. Like, if you basically the way magic works is you channel intent. If you want to do something and try to make it happen, and give me a good enough description of it, I will let you roll for it. But if I think it's really going to be a hard roll, I'll let you know.
Okay. So my other question is, with our stone rocks that we can speak to, is there a way to speak to rock directly? Like if this is a sentient rock beast, does it have a way of communicating?
You could try. You could put it up and try to talk to it. Like see if you can channel the intent to speak to it to the rock monster in front of you.
Okay, I'm gonna, will that count as an action since I'm technically talking?
It's a free action. I'll let you do it.
Whew, okay, so I'm going to use my speaking stone, and I'm going to just try and channel as much energy as I can to this large rock monster and say, essentially try and figure out like what's wrong, why you can hear my dog in the background, I'm sorry. Basically ask like why they are doing this and we can help them just stop.
Okay, cool. So you take that little rock thing and you try to channel intent to communicate directly with whatever sentience might be controlling this rock monster. And I want you to go ahead and roll a d20 at a -7.
That's a really, really rough modifier.
It sure is.
Okay.
All right. And I'm going to just quickly go ahead and roll something here privately.
It's a really rough modifier.
Cool. So you're going, as a magic user, you're going to try to communicate directly with whatever it is that's controlling this monster. As a direct result, you hear something respond to you that fills you with utter horror. It's unintelligible. There is no rhyme or reason to its response. And as a result of you hearing it, you get a splitting headache and fall to the ground screaming in pain and take 17 points of damage.
Holy shit. Okay.
Wow.
And unfortunately, you won't get an action after that because that will count as an interruption. So, we'll move on to Dallin Digbeard.
Oof.
So Dallin is going to see everybody.
I have a non-Laszlo question.
Yes, non-Laszlo.
Are we supposed to be keeping track of the damage from our health?
Yes. You click on, if you take damage, you click on your token, and then that little red slot, you apply a minus like thing to it. So if you took like 5 damage, you click on the red bubble and do -5, and it would automatically update that in your character sheet for you.
Well, shit.
Did you forget to update your hit points with what you've taken?
Yes, I'm stupid.
I think you took like 8 points of damage or something, or 5? 4. You took 4. You took 4 from getting kicked, and that was it.
I didn't take. I haven't taken any, right?
Nope.
Okay.
Only. Elias, when did you take damage?
I don't think I did. I don't think I took any.
The first episode.
Oh, okay. Well, we can say that in that time you kind of recuperated back to full. So I'll just change
I've
it.
been looking at my health bar this whole time. I'm like, I'm still hurt.
Yeah, no, it's okay. In that time of like being separated, you basically was just like, you regained your wind essentially. It was long enough apart. So Dallin now comes to his turn, and he sees this absurd, crazy shit going down, and Dallin is kind of like, this is a big one. But Dallin has Berserker in his blood, and he's not one to back away from fighting big things. In fact, his whole thing is fighting big things. He enjoys big things to fight. So he's going to go ahead and start scaling it to try and stand on top of this thing. So Dallin is going to move down, and as Dallin is reaching to climb the rock, he's going to lean over his shoulder and go, "Thanks for the donation, Auntie!" And then he's going to start climbing the rock monster. And he's going to roll for that, and we're all going to see it because, he's a good climber,
and he's been rolling great tonight.
He sure has, and he rolls an 18.
Look at that
this
roll.
rock monster it's so big it doesn't really notice. So Dallin is spending the majority of his turn trying to reach the top of this rock monster. So I'm going to move this to the back so that's a little easier. There we go. Now Dolan's on the rock monster. And unfortunately, it's the rock monster's turn. The rock monster, having heard something try to talk to it, looks down at the crippled gnome and is going to try and squish it. So the rock monster is going to try to bring itself down onto Keefe. Now, Kip, you're the next closest initiative and have a very high initiative. Do you want to sacrifice your go to kind of grab her and get the hell out of that attack?
Yeah, I'd say.
I don't want to get squished.
Yeah, I suppose I can do that.
So I want you to go ahead and roll me a d20 at a +3.
Am I unconscious or am I still?
No, but in this round of action, you have just dropped to the ground and then
she is
you're unaware
baby.
of the impending doom.
Sorry.
However, Dara rolls a
Nat
natural 20. So this big rock monster brings its foot down to try and crush the poor little crippled gnome, and she's like, "I'll save you!" And because even though Kip isn't all that physically strong, it's a fucking gnome, so she's fine. So she's
got me.
And I'm also like, thank you for 12 months in a row, Auntie!
as you charge away with her, you yell that over your shoulder. So you come charging off to the side here and just dive out of the way with her and come to a sliding stop. You look cool as shit carrying this gnome under you. And the rock monster stomps forward and it looks down and to kind of see that it didn't do anything and kind of lets out a response to your little avoidance of its attack there. And now we move on to
Sorry about
Elias. Elias, what are you going to do?
I see what Dolan did, and I'm going to try to come up it from the other side.
All right, you're going to try to climb it from the other side?
Yeah, and stab my sword into it or something.
Okay, well, you're going to have to spend the majority of this climbing.
Okay.
So what I want you to do is roll me a d20 at a +4. And you know what? +6. You've been doing all kinds of crazy acrobatics. You know what you're doing when it comes to
I'm an elf. I know what I'm
Yeah.
doing. And no, I don't.
Or you don't. No, I mean, that's cool.
The rock was wet. I slipped.
We could talk big game. I guess.
You jinxed me.
Fuck my ass. Okay, so you run up to the rock monster and go and slide down it. And that's your turn attempting to scale this thing. Laszlo, it's your turn now.
Since all I have is rope and fire, I have an idea for Keefe if she's conscious enough to hear me. Are you there, Keefe?
Keefe can respond. She's more gathered now. She's under Dara's arm, or sorry, Kip's arm, but she's conscious and reactive.
Yeah,
Okay.
Laszlo. what?
My idea is this thing is made of rock, right? I think you should cause an earthquake inside it to break it apart.
I've never done that before. I usually only know fire
I know,
and rope.
and I believe in you. You're a very wonderful gnomish wizard. Please try this.
I'm a wizard. He called me a wizard.
All
You're
right.
a wizard, Larry.
Yo,
You're
wizard.
a wizard, Keefe.
I'm a what?
So you
Oh,
can use that as a free action to give her like a conversation like bonus there. Now, what do you want to do with the rest of your turn?
I will also try to climb it, maybe to distract it from your attempt.
All right, sounds good. So you start to climb this rock monster, and you know what? Go ahead and roll me a d20 with a +3. That's going to be a no from me on climbing the rock monster this round. So yeah, moving on to Keefe. You just kind of like walk up to it and put your hands on it, and you're like, "This is a bit much." And so now we move on to Keefe's
I'll
turn.
crack a nail.
All right, Keefe, are you going to try to rock quake this giant monster?
Yeah, so as to not let down my fellow comrades who believe in me, I am going to try and explode this rock monster with all of the anger of whatever just screamed at me and terrified me. I'm going to try and...
All right, you are currently more terrified of this thing than you were before, and it's hampering your concentration, and you're trying to channel a really big important spell here to cause what is essentially a minor earthquake with the interior of this massive rock. So I'm going to let you roll that d20 to do it, but it's going to be at a -6.
Release your hate, tiny one.
Oof, I might do my other idea. I don't know if a -6 is worth it.
What's your other idea?
Since I know fire, I'm going to try and melt the ground around the rock monster to solidify its feet in place.
Okay, so you want to try to melt it into the ground.
Yes.
Okay, cool. I'm still going to give you like a -5 for that.
Oof, big oof. That's gonna be a little bit less dangerous though than if I try and explode something and they're all on top of him. So I think I'm gonna.
Maybe?
Me and Laszlo are standing at its foot.
Yeah,
Okay.
Dahlon's the only one on it.
Oh,
Right?
he's the only one on it. Okay,
We
then
failed.
I'll try the earthquake. We'll try this.
Okay, -6. Roll a d20.
This is yikes.
You
Nat
rolled a
20!
natural 20. You rolled a fucking natural 20.
Oh,
That was Evie barking in the background.
Yeah.
I mean,
You mean
Pip.
Pip. Oh,
Fuck. It's Pip.
Pip was super excited that you managed to roll a natural 20.
She can't do fucking jack all, so, you know, at least she's encouraging us and cheering us on.
All right, so you create an earthquake inside of this monster, and now we're gonna roll its response to this magical attack, and it's not gonna do good enough. So you're gonna cause a quake inside of this thing, and it's gonna look like it's got really bad indigestion, and parts of it are gonna flake off, and you can tell that you've kind of hit this thing with a pretty massive punch to the gut. So it's pretty staggered. So you will have successfully made it unable to react in an offensive way on the next turn that it has.
Yeah. We got him.
Congratulations. And it's taken damage.
Good job, Keithy!
It's taken damage from this.
At
Now,
least I didn't kill Dolan, you know.
yeah, actually, good news. Dolan is going to climb up and he's excited. He's actually pretty thrilled about this because he loves climbing big things and breaking them. So he's going to get to the top of this rock monster and he's going to overhand his pick into the top of this thing to just kind of start digging away at it. He's a dwarf in his natural climate. He's going mining for rock monster and he's going to make it his bitch. So he's going to take 2 rolls to see if he can be sturdy about this and then if he's going to be able to actually fucking do anything. So first roll for the climbing, it's not really moving or anything. The earthquake did cause it to shake, so it's a little bit off balancing, so there's no modifier to this. He's going to be fine staying sturdy on this thing. And then he's going to bring his depth breaker down onto this thing's head, and it's going to clang off. He goes at it with a bad direction, and it makes impact, but it just kind of ricochets and goes. Durr. So he kind of like impacts it like that. And as this is going on, the strain of the fight is too much for Keefe. So as this fight is going on, and Keefe had to put a lot of energy into channeling this earthquake inside the rock monster while being held by Dara, she passes out in one of her fits of narcolepsy. So you can go with your dog. You can reply. You can unmute your mic and say, "Talk to us, Saji." Oh no, she can go. That works too. Sorry, everybody. Saji
No, ran away.
Little brat.
No,
So,
she's passed out!
So yeah.
Sleeping!
Underneath your arm, Kip, the dwarf passes out from the exertion. So you're left there holding a dwarf. The rock monster has to take a turn to compose itself. And some of the pieces gnome. The rock monster takes a turn to compose itself after being shook internally. And a couple of pieces that fell off roll back on and merge with it. And now, Kip, it's your turn.
Alright, I am going to attempt again I'm going to grab Pip and I'm gonna put down gently Keefe and pat her little head. And then I'm going to attempt once again to transform Pip, my Pomeranian, shape-shifting Pomeranian, into the same massive rock. So yeah, want me to roll for that?
Yeah, I'm gonna give you a -7 to it, but you can go ahead and give it a shot.
Oh god, -7. Here we go. Ready?
Yep. Nope. Your dog doesn't seem keen on this idea. It eats another treat gladly, and then it stares up at the rock monster again, and then it looks back at you like, "Are you fucking kidding me?"
God damn it.
So Pip is rather unimpressed with this continued attempts, and now we go to Elias. Elias, what are you gonna do?
So you said like its stomach is the focal point of where it took, or where its stomach would be, is the focal point of the earthquake?
It looked like it was kind of like the center mass it was just holding. Like you can't really tell if this thing has like a stomach. It's a really big. It looks like a. Sorry. Yeah. What?
If I rolled for a perception, can I see where the weaker point of like the focal point of it was to attack there?
You know what? You can roll an unmodified d20 for me and see if you can spot anywhere that would be better to attack.
Nope.
Nope. You are you roll you critical fail inspecting this rock monster.
What's happening to us, team? We're falling apart.
You put your hands on it and you kind of look at it really closely and you're like, and in your inner monologue you're like, yes, this is. So, but I'll let you have that as a free action. So are you going to climb it or do anything now?
What do I have in my inventory? Give me a second. Do I have anything else? Nope, no I do not. Okay. You know what? Yeah, I'm going to try and climb it one more time. I'm going to try and get up to its shoulder. Like, jump up to its shoulder even, since I'm an acrobatic elf.
All right, you're going to try to climb it again? Cool. I'm going to give you a +5 and roll a d20 for me.
Jesus.
Cool. You're going to roll another natural critical fail somehow. Wow. Wow.
I don't want to talk about this anymore.
So you're obsessed with the rock monster. So instead of taking the initiative to climb the rock monster, you still are really focused on trying to learn its secrets. So you give it a lick instead. And you're kind of like really disgusted by how it tastes.
What? Elias, what the hell?
I'm going to intervene for a second. I know it's a critical fail, but I am still a highborn elf. Why would I lick the rock? I just want to know why I would lick the rock.
You made sure nobody was watching. You were like, maybe if I, like, and you tried to make sure nobody saw you do it because you thought, maybe you could get a good taste for it and figure out more of its flawed. So nobody saw it, but you did that. Actually, you know what? Let's make this even more entertaining. Laszlo and Kip, can you go ahead and roll me an unmodified d20 to see if you noticed Elias?
Come on.
No, you guys didn't see Elias lick the rock.
Oh, God.
It's just a secret to you. You're the only one who knows. You're really good at hiding it. And now we move on to Laszlo's turn.
I don't want to talk about this anymore.
Laszlo, what are you gonna do? Laszlo?
Yeah.
Oh, you still?
I'm thinking.
Okay, there you
go. I will also try to scale it and go up by where Dolan is.
Okay, give me roll me a d20 at a +2. Nice. So you spend the majority of your turn climbing up, and you join Dolan, at the top of the rock monster, basically, and it moves on to Dahlon's turn, and Dahlon is kind of readying to bring the axe down again. So he goes ahead and tries to drive it in, and he's got a better hold of what he's doing right now. So he's going to go ahead and roll. He's going to roll a 16. And the private roll of this monster in retaliation to this isn't going to do enough to deflect it. So the Dahlon brings his big fucking axe hammer thing down, pickaxe hammer, and smashes it into the top of this thing and chips off a chunk of it. And the big rock monster thing basically didn't like that and kind of responds in kind by letting out a large, unhappy noise. Oh, okay, you're typing it out. Never mind. So Dahlon chips off a piece of it. The rock monster takes damage from this. It's not happy, and in response to it, it's going to bring up one of its massive arms and try to swat the area that Dahlon is, which now is also occupied by Laszlo. So there's a big old like car-sized hand coming down on both of you. So I'm going to roll for it first, and then I want. Laszlo, I want you to roll a d20 at a +2, and I'm going to do the same for Dahlon. Oh, this isn't good. So the rock monster brings its massive hand down to try and swat the flies that are on its head, and it rolled an 18. So unfortunately, Laszlo and Dahlon are going to take some real hits here. So we're going to roll the damage that this is going to incur. Oh boy. All right. Dahlon and Laszlo are each going to take 20 points of damage.
Oh, snap!
Big oof.
Rickety wrecked.
What's your health at?
So that puts Laszlo down to 26 HP, and it puts Dahlon down to 30 HP.
Oh God, my sciatica!
Laszlo, can you smell what the rock is cooking?
So now that happens, and you guys are pretty thoroughly disoriented by this. You're like, oh my God, we just saw our party members get crushed under a big hand. They're not doing so well. In fact, I need to, on each of their turns, I'm going to need you guys to roll. So I'm going to have to roll for Dahlon and Laszlo. You're going to have to roll to see if you can recover from being crushed by a giant rock. In the meantime, what's going to happen is you guys can hear behind you as this combat is going down. You look behind you and you see that swarms of these rock monsters are starting to overwhelm the people. Basically around you, and they're more or less having a lot of trouble. They're getting pushed back towards the door, and the non-combatants of this engagement, as a result, have all started kind of clustered around the door. There's nowhere for them to go. There's no escape that they can make from this area. And as you kind of like see this going on, you can see that a couple of other rock monsters have sort of wandered in from the edges of the combat towards you guys as everyone else is pushed towards the door. And you can hear the non-combatants stuck against the door. They're panicking now. They're starting to scream and panic. They don't really know what to do about this situation. The ones who can't really fight are panicking and clawing at the door. People are tearing their fingernails apart as they try to get into this solid rock door that won't admit anybody into the door. And as they're clawing and desperately trying to get inside, the door still doesn't open. Nothing budges. People are freaking out. It's not going so well. Some of the rock monsters are starting to move in towards this group of people as they're panicking. So the raptor kind of priest that you guys encountered at the Temple of the Many runs back from the fight and switches over to defensive magic and decides to cast a bubble around everybody as they're panicking. to try to keep everybody from kind of getting destroyed. So as that's going down, and people are basically like panicking for their lives, the rest of them all kind of come in under the bubble. And Dara, are you okay?
Yeah, is that screaming and stuff on roll 20?
Yeah, it's
oh
on
my
roll 20.
god, I thought
it was
somebody
my
outside
cat.
was
I've been
dying. I was like, oh guys, I gotta go check outside
Is it
first.
really loud?
No, not at all. That's why I was confused, because it's quite faint, and I was like, guys, something's happening outside, and like,
Okay.
oh, I was
Yeah,
so
well-
confused.
Meows to me. like really distressed meows.
Okay.
Sorry,
Can
I'm
you
good.
guys-
Yeah,
Is that a little
okay.
more audible now without it being super loud?
Yeah, it's good. Definitely more
Okay.
like a crowd of frantic screaming.
All right, so they're all screaming and clawing at the
seagulls.
door. There's this big protective dome that's been erected of magic, and everyone else in the fight. You guys aren't caught in it, but the rest of the rock monsters are closing in on this big dome, and everyone's underneath it. And this raptor bird thing is like channeling as much energy as it can into kind of keeping everybody safe under the dome. So while that's happening, we go back to our fight. Kip, what are you gonna do?
Oh Lord. I mean, that's a good. A couple people have now said, ask the dwarf what if he knows what the weak point is of this monster. So maybe
Are
I'll
you
take
gonna
that.
yell up and ask him what the weak point is?
Yeah, I am.
All right. Okay. Can you do that in character, please?
Dolan, you're a dwarf. You know rock stuff, right? Do you know what the weak point on this thing is? Help an elf out.
And as Dolan's kind of reeling back from the strike that took out a chunk, he hears you kind of yelling to him, and he leans over and he goes, "Fuck if I know!" And he keeps going in to hit the top of the thing.
Okay. Am I? No. Did Keefe already have her turn? Can I maybe like try to team up with her, or? I mean, I have no clue what I want to do, but.
You could try to morph into the rock monster again. I mean,
Well,
you can do it as many times as you want until the dog throws up from having too many streets shoved in it.
Is there
any
a way? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Is there any way that you could team up with her to somehow cause another earthquake, maybe in its leg or something?
I don't know if the earthquake thing is going to go that well again, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's at a -6, and the only reason it went okay is I got a nat 20.
I
Is
can't
it
turn
still
Pip
at a
into.
-6, even though you nat 20'd it?
I would say that you have less of a modifier now that you're more recovered and that you've done it before. So it'd be only like a -3.
Okay, yeah, then we can try it.
Okay, but it's Kip's turn right now.
Yeah. So that's more of a Keefe's turn thing, right?
Yeah, on Keefe's turn. Oh, I removed her from the order, but Keefe,
Okay.
can you go ahead and re-roll initiative for me to rejoin because you've awakened from your...
Oh my god.
There we go.
Oh,
We
I thought you
those
got the
rolls out of
4
the way
there.
at least,
I
thank
thought that was the
goodness.
4.
Yeah.
Otis, I can't turn Pip into an axe because she's never seen an axe. So.
Well, she can see Dolan's axe,
Oh.
like the hammer. That would be an easier time. It's a smaller object, and she's seen it before
Oh,
now.
she's seen it before. Okay, then fuck yeah, I'm gonna try to do that. Keefy!
Okay.
I mean Kip! Fuck, I mean Pip! God, these brownies are really getting to me. I call upon the lunar
Myself.
power of my Pomeranian Pip to turn into Dolan's axe thing weapon.
All right, cool. I want you to roll a d20, and it'll be at a +4.
Ooh, come on, baby, come on.
Nope. It's not Pip becomes an axe thing.
This damn dog! Why did I get a Pomeranian?
All right. So you, unfortunately, she fails to transform, and you've learned nothing about its weaknesses. So Elias, it's your turn now. What are you gonna do?
Just so I'm in the clear, this is the door over here, correct?
It's way further away from you. This is just the area of combat that you're in. Further north of you, like I'd say the length of like a football field and a half maybe is where the door is.
A football field and a half.
Yeah, well, okay, no, more like
How did I get over there so quick?
Okay, that's a big fucking distance. Let's say that it's more of a soccer field length, a single soccer field's length. Because you guys are closer to the elevator, and they're like near the they're all clustered around the doorway, freaking out, kind of last standing it over there. But you guys, it would take a long time in combat rounds to get there.
Is there any way I can provoke it to move towards the door and attack me at the door? But like, I want to try and make it miss and maybe break the door down.
Yeah, if you want to run in front of it and try and lure it after you, you can try to do that if you describe to me how you're going to do it.
Okay, does anybody have any ideas on how to provoke a rock? Oh,
Well, wait. Keefe was able to get its attention with the stone. Maybe borrow a stone of mine. I'll throw it down to you, and then you talk to it.
She almost died doing
get its
that.
attention. Just run away and get its attention.
So you want me to be live bait?
No, I'm just using your thing as an example. He can yell at it with a stone.
Keefe's
No, you will not be
magical
bait.
water jug. It can work with anybody, right? Like I could use it?
No, she can use
It's
it.
only me.
Nobody else can. She's the only one who can make water come out of her jugs.
Okay.
I mean, jug. Freudian slip.
Is there a way? Is there a way that I could convince her to throw the water at it, but make it angry at me? Because rocks don't like water.
Somebody in the chat made a good suggestion. Why don't you
It's
pick
not
up a rock?
Pokemon.
Why don't you pick up one of the pieces that fell off of it and throw it at it to get its attention, and then start running, basically.
Okay, I'm gonna run out here after picking up a rock, and I'm going to throw the rock at it and try to provoke it into charging at me, and with the intention of it busting down the door.
Okay, go ahead and roll a d20 for me at +3. Cool.
Oh my god.
Nice. So it hits. It's fine. You're fine with the rock. So you pick up a chunk of this giant monster and you throw it at it, and the rock sticks to it and becomes part of it again. And unfortunately, it's a little too occupied with the dwarf who managed to take a chunk out of its head to bother with somebody throwing rocks at it from below. So we move on to Laszlo's turn. Oh, Laszlo, what are you going to do? Oh, sorry, you need to roll a d20 at a -4 to see if you recover from getting crushed by a rock hand. Nope. You're a little too fucked by that. So Laszlo, unfortunately, isn't holding up too well in this situation. Dolan, we move on to Dolan. He's recovering. Oh, right, he got squished too. So, like, okay. Okay, Dara, I saw the thing. So basically, Dolan is also recovering from that. He needs to see if he can bring back his mojo to kind of respond there. So he's gonna roll minus 2 modifier, and Dolan is also not gonna recover. So now it's just down to Keefe. So Gnome, would you kindly determine what you do here before the rock monster has its turn?
Yeah, I will kindly do so. Man, oh man.
Cedric, do you know any water attacks?
I mean, I don't have a spell list. I can have intent to cast something, but I don't see, like, especially if we're in a snowy place where there's snow, which is actually water. I don't necessarily think that this is like Pokemon where water attacks will hurt a rock, but potentially.
It's not Pokemon. I'm going to tell you the way in reality when water comes in contact with stone is through erosion. over a period of centuries, yes, rock is damaged by water, but you would need to output a significant amount of water that would probably turn you into a little gnome water rocket in order to do anything in that regard.
All right.
Picture her blasting off like Team Rocket with water.
Yeah, like-
behind her.
Is Laszlo still underneath the rock monster?
He's on the rock monster's head. He got squished along with Dalin, and they're trying to recover from being crushed by a giant rock hand.
Okay, I am going... All right, I am going to... Is it just Laszlo or is Dalin there too? Oh, they're both there, yeah. Sorry, my thing was covered. All right, I am going to try and shield both of them with a magic barrier, which will, yes, won't solve the problem of them getting off of the rock monster, but potentially the problem of them getting squished. So I'm gonna try and help at least.
All right, so you're gonna try to double bubble your boys in trouble?
Yep, double bubble my boys in trouble.
All right, cool. So what I want you to do is roll a d20 at a -1.
Go. Wait. Shit. I rolled initiative, I think, instead. Did I? Did I roll? Hello?
It's roll 20 on the like just roll 20.
Yeah, I have the window open, but it's like not doing anything. That was weird.
Is it doing anything now? There it goes.
Now it's working.
Okay.
That's a horrible roll, but you know
That is a
whatever.
horrible roll.
Eh.
So unfortunately, you don't bubble your bros. Actually, you know what? Let's say you do. It doesn't go the way you intended, and now you've bubbled their hands. So now they have bubbles on their hands. Luckily, Dalin's axe is still in his hand, so it's included in the bubble. But now their hands are super protected. So, yay!
Yeah, your hands, guys. Now you can go punch it, and you'll be
Super
fine.
Protecty Hands 9000.
I got you.
All right.
At least
so
I didn't
we
light you
move-
on fire. You know, whatever.
We move on to the rock monster. However, the rock monster at this stage saw that, it felt the impact. It knows that it probably squished what it was dealing with. It has no way of telling if what up there was survived. And now it moves forward and pays attention to Elias, trying to get its attention. So it stomps one massive foot forward and another massive foot forward and comes to rest just above Elias, and is this massive towering presence above him now. So Elias, I'm going to give you the opportunity to sacrifice your turn to run away from it and try to lure it away if you want, before it has the opportunity to bring its foot down on you.
Yeah, I'm gonna run backwards towards the door.
All right. So you start running towards the panicky bubble group, and I need you to roll a dice for that, though. I need it as a +6, but I need you to do a roll 20. Yeah, you're fine. You're fine. This monster has no hope in hell of doing anything to counter that.
Cool.
So it brings it stomps forward again in pursuit of you to try and crush you. It misses you. You've missed your turn order, and then we go back to Kip. And now that Kip's turn is here, we see she kind of is a bit distracted looking over at this bubble. It's starting to wane. Things are looking pretty bleak for the guys at the door. Everyone's huddled together trying to kind of poke out of the protective bubble to stop the rock monsters. But there are hundreds of them now in the courtyard, and they are starting to swarm in. The ones on the outskirts of this engagement have started moving in closer to help their giant rock brother. And as that's kind of going on, more are starting to swarm in, and they're kind of coming in at the sides. And as they do so, the weird-looking raptor freaking creature thing in the center that I gave a name to, but good luck pronouncing.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
For those of you in chat. What I'll do is I'll quickly just interrupt the flow of everything here. so you guys can get an idea. There you go. That's the name of the thing that's holding up the bubble. So if you guys want to go ahead and try to pronounce that, fun for the
Fred,
family.
yeah, Fred.
Yeah.
Fred.
So as you guys are kind of sitting there watching this, the bubble is starting to kind of wane and things are looking bleak, and you can basically hear the sound of what sounds like people just panicking even harder as they're trying to get in, and things seem pretty bleak. And so as things are kind of waning and everything starts to kind of give way up there, the creature kind of lets out a sigh, and it sort of takes in a deep breath, and out of its mouth you can hear essentially just beautiful singing. You didn't know that something this ugly and socially inept could make noise like this. And it basically kind of starts singing over the crowd, and everyone is kind of can hear this beautiful singing. It's holding one of those rock things to its throat that it had borrowed from somebody, and as it's struggling to hold this dome up of protection, it starts singing to kind of give everybody hope. It's kind of like the last song of this creature before everyone dies. But you notice it starts having an absolutely devastating effect on the rock creatures. The ones that are trying to get into the protective bubble are essentially falling apart as they try to get closer to the sound of the song. And you all notice that this singing is basically destabilizing their ability to stay coherent at all. Even the big ass rock monster kind of took a bit of a pause, and everyone's just kind of what the hell? And she kind of stops her song and reinforces the bubble, and then you can see them kind of gathering back together. So now we go on to Kip, and it's Kip's turn in this combat, and we go back to our fight music.
That I have no idea what just happened, but ooh, it's okay, Pip. I know it was beautiful. I'm shocked too. I think I'm gonna attempt to turn Pip into Dolan's axe again.
Okay.
Cause I don't have much else, other options. So yes, I will try to do that, and I'm assuming the rock monster's a little bit more weak at the moment.
It is. It's kind of recovering.
All right. So yes, I'm gonna try that.
All right. So you're gonna kind of turn it into the pick hammer.
Yeah.
Again.
Yeah.
All right. So roll that dice, and I'm gonna give you a plus 5.
Okay. Are you fucking kidding me?
That's a bad
What happened? Where did it all go? When did it all go wrong?
Fuck. That's pretty funny. Okay, so that's Kip's turn. Elias, you kind of you saw this happen, and you can look behind you now, and you can see that the creature stops singing, and they're all kind of what the hell? What was that? And everyone's kind of gathering their senses. What are you going to do at this point?
Since I don't have an attack or anything, right? Because I moved.
Yeah, you're in the process of moving, but you could stop and turn around and do something, or you could keep moving towards the door. The thing is kind of staggered, and it's not really looking at you right now.
As I'm running at the door, because I'm going to keep moving towards the door, I'm going to yell at that thing to keep singing.
So you're going to keep running towards the door and keep encouraging the thing in there to keep singing, essentially.
Yeah, I'm going to just be keep singing, it weakens them.
Okay, so you're gonna be screaming that over the stuff there, and everyone's gonna kind of take notice of this random elf that nobody met before, but is running up and basically just being like sing, damn it, sing.
Sing! It weakens them! Sing!
Okay,
Wait.
So
Sorry, it wasn't the rock singing, it was the lizard person?
Yeah, it was the lizard
Oh
priestess.
my god, I'm a fucking idiot. Okay. God damn it. God damn. Okay, continue. Proceed.
No, I thought so too at first, Derek.
Okay.
It took a minute.
Yes.
No,
Okay.
it took a minute. It was a
For,
little
Shit.
for clarification, the
Sorry,
lizard priest was the one who was singing.
Yeah, God. Okay. Damn it.
And was the one who destabilized them.
Fuck.
So you kind of run up and try to get them to keep doing that, and so Elias is essentially off of the area right now. So you're doing that, and we'll see how that comes out at the end of your round of combat.
Disappeared again.
Yeah. So Laszlo, it is your turn now. You need to roll a d20 at a -2 again for me. Oh, you're still rather bothered by being crushed by a giant hand. So, you have anything to say about that?
Rock hand.
Good, excellent. So now we're gonna go to Dahlin.
How is he still holding on at this point?
It's a
How is
large
it left there?
surface. So now we're gonna have Dahlin try to get his. Nope, Dahlin's gonna look at you and basically, like, in a drunken way, respond to Laszlo just by being like, hide. Oh. So that's the end of Dahlin's turn. Kiwi, it's your turn. What are you gonna do?
After watching Raptor Person sing and fend off and weaken some of these things, I'm gonna pull some Santa Claus 3 bullshit, and I'm gonna try and get everybody to sing together.
All right, how are you gonna do that?
I am going to use my my singing stone, and I'm going to. I need a song about rocks. I didn't think this far. What's a good rock song?
Hey now, you're a
No.
rock star. Just kidding. Go play.
Yeah, I start singing variations of both of them quite loudly, and then whisper awkwardly, "Come on, start singing, everyone, please!" And then I just keep going, hoping that people around me start singing in unison with these songs.
All right, that's fair. That's fair. And what did you use? The singing stone?
Yeah.
You're just kind of yelling to
And-
everybody.
And I'm going to try and use whatever magic energy I have to help amplify the sound of the singing stone.
Okay, so everybody hears you kind of like make this suggestion. It comes out very loudly. You're kind of broadcasting through all the stones and your area, so pretty much everybody can kind of hear you, encouraging everybody to sing, to start singing together, and kind of like destabilize. And you get the sense that, like, maybe it would be good if everyone was a little harmonized on it. So is there a specific song you might want to lead them all in?
Oh God. Hold on. Let's do well,
You just Google good rock songs.
No, I think I was looking up the lyrics for Another One Bites the Dust. Because I thought that one would be appropriate.
I like it.
So
right.
yeah, I'm gonna lead them in Another One Bites the Dust.
You're gonna lead them in Another One Bites the Dust?
Yes.
Okay.
With the doot doot. Run to the noise.
All right. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna go ahead and pause this.
Oh God.
Oh shit! Wait, we can't do this, can we?
No, unless we find no, actually no.
Oh.
Did she not sing it
All right.
without it being
You could sing it.
I mean, you could.
I could do
sing
like
it.
the sound.
Another one bites the dust.
All right, okay, we'll do it that way.
Another one bites the dust. And another one gone. And another
No,
one
hold on.
Sorry.
All right. So that's cool. We'll do it. Okay. So you look over at Kip, and you hold the rock to your throat, and so Kip, you're gonna hold the rock to your throat, and you're gonna be the bass of the song, and everyone else who can hear you, they're gonna start joining in. Okay.
This is my jam.
All right. So why don't you go ahead and start us off, Kip, and then we'll and then Sad
Alright.
Keith, you join in, and then everyone will start kind of coming in.
Dun dun dun.
Another one bites the dust.
Another one bites the dust.
And another one.
Another one bites. Another one bites the dust.
Yep.
Another one bites the dust.
Maybe.
And everyone-
Maybe.
And everybody.
I'm currently running, yelling, sing at that person.
Yeah, Elias
I'm confused.
and Laszlo. Yeah, Laszlo, what's your? Yeah, Laszlo's a bit damaged. He's giving it his best.
This is good.
All right. So as this happens, all right, we can stop.
I was enjoying that.
As you start leading everybody in another one bites the dust, everyone can kind of get the general gist of like what you're singing. So everyone joins in. So this creature, the creature kind of goes back with its noise, and just kind of like over everyone singing together for this hilariously mismatched song. Start kind of like singing and broadcasting as hard as they can through their rocks, and the harmony of whatever the hell this is mixed with Another One Bites the Dust sung by a bunch of people who don't even fucking know what the song is. This is the first time they've ever heard it. It's like a drunken karaoke miracle. And as this harmonic noise fills out throughout everything around you guys, you can see the rock monsters all around you. The smaller ones, they start kind of falling over. They all start kind of crumbling and falling into little piles of rocks. And the rocks aren't getting back together. As you can hear this song kind of playing, the rocks aren't continuing to reform. And as that kind of goes down, this big monster is kind of sitting there kind of dealing with this. And you get the sense now that as pieces of it start to fleck off, this would be the best time to start beating its ass. So Keefe, with that in mind, you still have some stuff to do on your turn. What would you like to do?
I'm muted. Hello, I'm muted.
Hello.
I'm gonna laser beam him.
Okay, you're gonna I'm a firing my laser, this
I'm
big
gonna
one.
fire my laser.
All right, you did it before in a very successful attack on a rock monster, and this thing is not doing so hot, so I'm gonna give you a +2. You roll a d20 for me.
Alrighty. Huh?
Huh? You know,
Just scratch him?
You scratch him. You shear off a little bit of the side of it, and it kind of it continues to take damage from that. And unfortunately, as its turn comes around, it starts to kind of like thrash in anger, but it's disjointed and doesn't really manage to do anything. So Kip, it's your turn now. What are you gonna do to this thing? Now keep in mind, we stopped the audio, but that song and everyone going Another One Bites the Dust is continuously going. Like people haven't stopped doing it.
Okay, I'm gonna be dancing. I'm gonna be
Yeah.
dancing as I'm doing it because I really like that jam. Fuck. Team, do you think I should try to turn Pip into the axe again? No? Yes?
What would be her? Because this will be the third time. So is she getting better at it?
Yeah. So I'll give her a +6 to trying to become a pickaxe again.
I just have a random question. If it worked, would Dolan be able to dual wield these axes?
Dolan would be able to dual
Dolan.
wield the axes.
Okay.
Just throwing out random stuff there. Not suggesting anything. Go back.
Tell you what, Dara, if you put your faith in this, shove a treat in your dog, and throw it up to the dwarf in the hopes that in midair that it's going to transform, I'll give you a +8 to the roll.
Oh my god. Okay. I'll do that. It's hard to get out my dice while I'm dancing, but
Let
plus.
Dolan know what you're doing.
Oh, so I've decided that I believe in Pip because this has happened before. She fails thrice, and then on the fourth time, she does such a good job. So I have full faith.
Time the charm?
What's that?
Fourth
this time is the charm, so I call upon the power of my Pomeranian Pepperoni, and I am going to try to transform her into one of Dolan's axes, and I'm gonna fling her into the sky toward Dolan, so hopefully he reaches out and grabs it if it works. And actually, no, hopefully, Dolan, hopefully he grabs her regardless of if she turns into one or not.
Yeah, hopefully if it's not a weapon, he'll still grab the dog.
Hopefully he'll still grab her. Here we go. Oh, it didn't. What? Hold on. Try that again.
Why did you roll a damage roll? That would have been great if you hadn't rolled a damage roll.
Oh, whoops, damn it! A damn it roll? Fuck. Okay, hold on. Sorry, it's just those brownies, you guys.
Can we just count the 20 like that?
Please. Okay, let's try it again. Ready?
Okay, 8+ on a d20.
Oh!
Yeah, there you go.
Yeet!
All right, so you're gonna wind up and you're gonna throw Pip towards Dolan and hope that he can get his senses about him to grab it. And as that's going on, in that same moment of time, Elias, what are you doing on your turn of order?
Oh, I see this Pomeranian flying through the air.
And then transforming into a weapon while it's
I
doing
am still questioning what's going on with that in the back of my mind. But I am going to run back towards the rock monster and try to provoke it into attacking as I slide through its legs.
Are you gonna do that?
No.
Is that like if you want to be the hero here and divert the attention?
1 second.
Is that something that like is that something your character would really feel like doing?
You're right. I'm gonna disappear.
For no alternative reasons whatsoever that you might have, obviously. All right, so you're gonna keep running towards the people at the door.
Yeah, I'm gone. Good luck, I'm out.
All right, so you guys get the sense that this...
I just do what I did before, and I slither away into the darkness, and nobody actually notices that I'm gone.
All right, so you peace out back towards where everybody is and kind of join the crowd.
I like Dare's look. She's like, what?
And with your character devoid of ulterior motive is removed from the turn order. And now Laszlo, if you could go ahead and roll a minus 2 recovery d20 again, and see if you get your shit together this time. You do! Congratulations, Laszlo. You're up and about.
What in blazes happened? I heard some kind of song from another realm in a dream, and I think I got smacked by the hand of that giant thing. It seems to be rendered a little bit. It's shaking. I'm going to dive off of it and distract it and run towards the door.
Okay. So that's what you're gonna do?
Yes.
You're gonna jump off this massively tall creature?
Yes. I'll jump scale off. I'll do it in a safe way.
You know what? That's fair, but I'm still gonna give you a -2. Roll me a d20 at a -2, and let's see how this goes. Oh. Well, congratulations. You don't do anything comedically stupid getting off of the giant rock monster. And you bound down off of it towards it and start running towards the door. Is there anything you're shouting as you're going towards the door at all, Laszlo?
I start singing with everyone. I don't know.
All right. So you kind of charge your way towards the doorway and start joining the song, And as we skip over that, now we need to see if Dallin recovers on his roll to see if he gets his shit together enough to catch poor Pip in midair, who is now transformed into a pick hammer. And I rolled it privately, so derp. Cool. Let me just go like that. And we're not going to... Yes! Thank God. So Dallin is actually going to recover, and he's going to reach out. He's going to be like, whoa, what? And he's going to desperately go to acquire the other hammer. And unfortunately, his bubble hand is going to smack it away to the ground. Which is still encased by the protective spell that Keefe had cast on Dallin's hand, and as this hammer goes flying away to the ground, it clatters to the ground. But it's okay because your dog is being a hammer, so your dog is not hit by or affected by this. And as Dallin kind of like realizes what he's done, he's like, damn it! Thank you, dear, for 8 months in a row for subscribing to Dara Dev. And then he gets up in rage. And he takes his one good hammer and in a fury drives it down into the top of this monster. And he manages to clang off of it. Doesn't really do anything. Chips a little bit off because this thing is in a really bad way. And now we move on to Keefe. Keefe, it's your turn. What are you going to do to this very weakened, very unhappy monster who is still listening to people singing Another One Bites the Dust?
Yeah, we're gonna try and blast him again. We're just gonna try it.
Another just big old energy blast?
We're gonna just blast him.
Okay, tell you what. I'll give you an unmodified D20. Just roll me a straight D20, and we'll see how this goes. Oh, I blast another chunk off, but it's not going to handle it very well. But I mean, it is currently suffering very. You know what? Why don't we put on some more of that? For those of you who might have not heard it, we'll put on some more of the singing again. You know, that song is still going, and it's still belting into this thing. And we'll just put it on loop because that'll work better. And so this singing and all the Another One Bites the Dust is going on, and the laser shears off another piece of this monster, and it is not having a good time. It's having trouble keeping itself together. It's going to see MW running and try to reach for him to crush him. So MW, I'm going to have you roll a D20, but at a +8. All right, cool. And I'm going to roll for it. And it's going to... in true fashion for the evening, it's going to roll a 2. So it goes to crush Laszlo as he's running away and in fury. And it just kind of like just comes short of Laszlo. And Laszlo's kind of like, oh, I would. You know, a little bit of nip at the butt. And as this happens, Laszlo kind of like moves a little bit further forward, and we move on to Kip's turn. Kip, this monster's looking weak. It's looking unhappy. It's pretty off balance. It's big, but it's losing a lot of pieces. What are you gonna do? Your dog is on the ground, still pretending to be a hammer.
Okay.
It's not far from you.
Okay. I would like to run over to my hammer dog. My pip axe, if you will. Hilarious. I would like to pick up the pip axe and I would like to charge the weakened rock monster and smash it.
So you're gonna use your pip axe and try to like take out its leg or something?
Yeah.
Okay. go ahead and roll a d20 for me, unmodified.
What about like, because I made such an amazing pun, we can maybe put like a little modifier on that.
I'll give you a +1 for pun.
Yes, okay. +1 for the pun. Let's go.
Oh shit! An unnatural 20. Without that fucking modifier I gave you, it would have been a 19.
Yes.
Hoisted by my own petard. All right. Well, you know, in true fashion, I still have to roll private roll in defense against this attack. And in true fashion of tonight's rock monster rolls, it's gonna be a 4.
Yes.
So this fucking giant rock monster, you're gonna come running up, and through the power of your enchanted Pipaxe
And the puns.
and the puns, you're gonna pun Pipaxe the shit out of this thing in the back of the leg, and because it's still reaching forward to grab MWB's Laszlo, and it's super disoriented and having a lot of trouble dealing with all this singing, and all these people basically like terrified of their minds singing. Another one bites the dust. It's gonna lose control of its leg, and the leg is gonna come ripping off. It's gonna look like you're some sort of superhuman fucking mutant woman who has the strength of the gods. In all actuality, you just literally gave it the tink in the little area it needed to fall forward and dip its shit. But you give it the little like
Yeah.
and starts falling forward. And it resonates at the right harmonies that it's kind of like you hit it with a fucking tuning fork and the whole thing is just, it can't handle it. And it pitches forwards. And this massive creature with Dahlin riding on top is going to pitch forward and shower forward in a spray of rocks. And Dahlin is going to ride that rock slide. Dahlin is gonna keep his composure, and as this thing crumbles forwards and the rock slide takes it forward, Dahlin is gonna stop on it, and he's gonna look up after everything comes to a settling stop and look around at everyone and go, "Damn, that was fun."
Yeah, fun, Dahlin, fun is the word I wouldn't use.
Yeah,
Unfortunately, with that, this is where we will have to end our session for the night.
Oh.
As we have reached our broadcast limitation, unfortunately.
Ooh. Well, thanks. That was super fun.
We did it.
Thank you, guys.
We did it. I
Thank
don't really
you,
know
Dylan.
how
We
we're
did the
gonna see
thing.
city, but you know.
Yeah, right. So curious.
I mean, like,
All
they want us
right.
to save the city, but they locked us out. So, I mean, we could just, like, GFO, but whatever.
Yeah. I don't know what's going on there. We'll see. We'll have to see next Friday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. No, that was great. Thank you, Dylan.
Yeah, that
And
was
crew.
Before King Shadow goes to bed there, I sent you a message that he was asking a question.
Oh, right. Yes. In response to anything music related, these are all like unassociated royalty-free clips that are through Roll20, and they're listed under names that aren't like an actual name of like a song for the most part. So I don't know where you could find that singing, unfortunately.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Dara.
I was just gonna say, like, because that reminded me of something in that same kind of breadth. What we're gonna, if this continues to go well, we would like to start a Patreon for those of you that want to see this continue, for those of you that want to see this grow, for us to throw some more money at it. We are going to look into making a Patreon, and one of those cool things is, if you don't know what Patreon is, it's kind of like a GoFundMe sort of thing where you have you could support the creators, and there's different tiers of like rewards that you get for spending however much on each tier. And one of the things that would be really cool is like we would give like the character sheets, show you guys those patrons the character sheet, or like the music that we use, exactly the names from Roll20 and stuff like that, so you kind of learn a little bit more like write-ups of what Dylan has written up to the story and everything. So that's something that we would really like to do, so stay tuned for more on that. But yeah, thank you everybody for like the subs and the donos and everything. That does help us a lot. And just continue coming to watch and supporting if you do really enjoy this and want to see more of it.
Before we leave, here, why don't I put on some royalty-free tavern music?
Perfect.
And we can go ahead and have a little after show briefly before we round things up. So first and foremost, thank you all very much for tuning in for our third episode of Minkles Dragons. We will be back next Friday at roughly the same time, probably a little bit earlier, hopefully.
Yes.
But yes, we will be doing this again, and that will be the final episode of this chapter. Following that one, we'll need to take a little bit of downtime to get our house in order to plan everything for the future. We'll probably need to skip that following Friday, potentially. It might not have to happen, but there might be a little bit more extra work involved in kind of like determining how well everything went. You know, how did everybody enjoy everything? So we have a channel in Dara's Discord called Minkles Dragons. If you really want to make sure that we kind of like continue working on this stuff and doing it on a regular Friday event, if you could just go ahead and put like your feedback in there or just show your support, like give us like a good feeling of like, yeah, I fucking love this. Please make more. If you don't make more, I'm going to like, you know, pipe bomb your house or whatever, right? Obviously not maybe
Jesus
that.
Christ.
But
That got aggressive real quick.
Big oof.
We could have just said egg or something.
oh, you know, that's much better. I'm going to
Why you go straight to anger?
with hand grenades. Anyways, so we have that channel there, and then yes, we will definitely on the next episode we'll give you guys more instructions on how to support us through getting it going further and further. We would love it if you guys would be able to contribute to our event. We do this all of our own free time at the moment, and all of our art resources and everything take a lot of time. So the more money we can raise, the more like fancier shit we can use. You know, like Dara, so far we've received donations enough to pay for Dara having to pay for Zoom, which is nice. So
Oh,
you
yeah.
know,
We got a couple.
Yeah.
We got a couple more, like from Zach, Auntie. So you know, it's a little bit more, which is awesome. Of course, we could always use more.
yeah,
But that's
that's
ahead.
definitely enough to keep Zoom functional, so that
Yeah.
we can keep doing it in the future.
Zoom is how we get everybody's faces on here. If you're not aware of what that is.
Yeah, we have to use a program that doesn't have the same drop problems that Discord does. And basically, this is the only one that really functions for us for everything we needed to do. It's not perfect, but at least we can use it. But a part of it is we have to pay for it.
Yes.
Sadly.
Oh, Otis, that was really funny. If I give money, can we make Laszlo's shoulders bigger?
It's not muscle, it's just poofs.
Need more poofs, please.
Need more
Well, we'll just
poops.
get you an air compressor, and you can just
Poof
boost
harder.
them more.
Oh my Lana. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. And yeah, on that note, we should give a quick rundown of everybody who participated. So obviously, first and foremost, I'm Dylan. I'm the DM here, and I work under Silver Kestrel Studios. I'm a streamer here on Twitch. I do painting. I also do a lot of, I kind of split design element stuff with MWB for this project. So we both do a lot of art resources for it. So that we'll be able to do more for you guys on the contribution. And then obviously we have the lovely Dara Def who joined us here because she has to, because it's her channel.
Well, I have to be here.
Yeah, it's just a night.
Dreadful.
She's like, I hate this shit.
I hate it.
Stop making me roleplay. But yeah, you all know who she is, and if you don't, if you turned in and you're like, I don't know who Dara is, she's the goddamn best streamer on this platform. And you should definitely tune in tomorrow and throw all the money you can possibly throw at her. Because
Sorry.
if you don't, a manticore is going to break into the house and eat her dog. And I know some of you would be for that, but I'm telling you, it's not cool.
And
Man,
Evie cannot in real life transform into a manticore to protect herself and defend, so
her dog is helpless, so make sure you help protect against manticore attacks by supporting this awesome streamer. And then beside Dara, we have Saji. She is also a streamer on Twitch. In fact, everybody in this group is a streamer on Twitch, funny enough. Saji is a wonderful design artist. She works on the emotes for Dara's channel. She makes a lot of amazing contributions to the community as the community manager. She does a lot of fantastic stuff for everybody here. And then beside Saji, we have MWB Design Studios, or MWB as we all say. And MWB is the portrait artist for this. He's been doing a lot of our portraitures, so all the things you see in the bottom corner with the characters, those are the portraits he's been drawing. He's got other stuff we'll be able to do up and contribute to the project. But yeah, he's a fantastic design artist, and you guys should definitely go follow his channel as well, because he's an entertaining fellow and does lots of cool art, and then also plays the vidya. So he's a good guy. You should check him out. He's got a great fake mustache on right now. Can't lose there. And then lastly, we have TJ, who is the Ghost Badger on Twitch. He does a lot of Call of Duty streams, but also streams a bunch of other stuff. Him and his wife are both streamers. His wife, it's Heckin Pleb, is her name, and she's basically, her name's Chastity. They stream together a lot. They do a lot of really fun gameplay stuff. It's pretty awesome. So you should definitely give him a follow as well. And
I met her on Twitch, so don't let me tell you that video games won't ever give you anything, because it gave me a wife.
You level up enough, you acquire
Forever alone will not happen.
Cute.
So there we go. That's the shout outs, and I guess just a quick round of questions, then we'll end the stream. Is that cool, Dara?
Hells yeah.
Questions to the audience?
Also, our DM is single, so if any of you single ladies out there want to give him a go, he's a beautiful Viking Canadian.
Stat. You guys watching, if you have any questions for us or comments, please feel free to contribute right now, and we'll answer them directly. We're all looking at chat. We're all just
questions, comments, compliments.
Yeah. Concerns, worries.
Are you offended by anything? Tell us. Let us know. What are you offended by?
Did we piss you off? Did I?
What offended you in this? Because someone was offended, I'm sure. What offended you in this episode?
I'm sure. Yeah. Please let us know. What was offensive about this episode of Minkles and Dragons?
The elf was racist to the lowborn elf, and sorry. Sorry.
Charlene12, question: how does Shatter the spell really work? I don't know what you're referring to. I guess I should.
He's referring to when I made the earthquake happen inside of the rock monster, but it wasn't a specific spell. So I think Dylan will explain that.
Yes, I will explain that to everybody. So in our setting here, it's designed for narrative play. So we want to make the flow of the narrative streamlined. So basically, the way it plays is just you tell me what you're doing, and I'll tell you if it fucks up hard or not based on your roll. And we literally just use d20s and d6s to determine damage output in certain instances. I didn't really have people rolling for damage there because it was these enemies were more of like they don't have a hit point so much as a way to kind of overcome them, because they were like immortal rock monsters that could just repair themselves, right? So we didn't really do it the standard way. It was more just like, I hope you figured out a clever way to knock these things the fuck over. It was basically all combat with them is. Which they did. They did well. But in our setting, it's a homebrew adventure, and everything is very simplified. So we don't use any of the common like stuff in D&D. There's no alignments, there's no specific classes, there's no levels. It's just kind of like, as you do well, I give you more things you're capable of doing. And if you do poorly or suffer permanent damages, I give you hindrances that kind of like affect that. The DM just kind of controls the whole process. And these guys are just the actors who fill the role. It's not standard D&D. I know that a lot of you might have been a little frustrated with some points where it was like I was taking the helm a little too much if you're classic D&D players, and I apologize for that. But for this one, to fit it in a 3-hour broadcast period, we need to keep it streamlined in order to fill enough content into it. What is MW doing?
I'm dancing.
Like twitching.
Oh.
Like, is he having a stroke or?
This is the first drink of water I've taken in 3 hours. Shit, I needed that.
Hydrate! We needed Hydrate Bot to remind us to drink water.
Yeah, there
Damn
was no
it!
hydrate bot.
Damn it!
I could have died, Dara.
I'm so sorry, guys.
That would have put a turn on events.
All right.
Sure would.
Put us really between a rock and a hard place.
End stream.
We will, Rocky. I thought that was great. I thought that was really funny to have a song to sing. That was pretty great. Saggy,
I'm awaiting.
Saggy coming in with the 18 months in a friggin' row, and she says, also, here's this. Love you, girl. What a long, strange 18 months it has been. A retweet.
Thank you for having me again.
Thank you
Oh, yeah, absolutely, TJ.
so much, TJ.
TJ.
Thank you for showing up and then subsequently running away.
Yeah, this
No, we
guy.
can always count on you to run away.
This guy, man. We gotta be
Nobody
careful.
saw me leave.
Nobody did see him leave, that's true. Or,
Well, you know, I was
or
still
lick
there.
a rock. We didn't see him lick a rock. That's
No.
pretty amazing.
Nobody saw that.
It didn't happen.
Cool. All right. Well, I think we're good then. Gonna say one more thing. Yeah, no, I will see you guys tomorrow. Oh, go ahead.
Shit.
What?
I knew.
Did you forget
Okay.
something?
So. Fuck. I knew we were already pressed for time, so I couldn't do the resolution to what you guys voted for. What you guys all voted for, you'll have to tune in next time, unfortunately, to see how it plays out.
Oh.
Because I had a thing for it, and I was gonna end this with it, but I totally forgot because we were so pressed for time.
Oopsies.
So tune in next Friday to see what happened with your vote.
Oh, we need to
And
do. Sorry.
So you need to do what?
We need to do a blue GIF thing.
Oh, you're right. We do have to do the blue gift thing.
Yeah. What should we do this time? Last time we did tears. I think this time we should do something triumphant because that was a very attack. We should do like a attack one because that was a attack heavy episode. You guys
We
want to
could
do
all,
some?
punch towards the screen and
Yeah,
look
or
intense.
just rage, like we're attacking big giant rock monsters. All right.
Yeah, all right. Just do your victory, whatever the attacky thing.
Okay. Ready?
Count us down, Dara.
3, 2, 1. Yeah.
On God.
Perfect. Dylan, if you could just leave that music rolling, that'd be awesome. Where? There we go. Roll the credits. Roll those credits. Thank you guys for being here. I really appreciate it. I'll see y'all later.
Goodbye.
Bye.
I'm dumb as I exit Roll20 and shut off the music.